Hi, welcome. So I thought we could do a little reading with some decks I don't use all too often. And as I was doing my little check-in right before this, I asked for a couple words that might be relevant to the reading. And what came was the word false and then the word probation. The weirdest words come, I don't know why. So we'll see if it has anything to do with the messages that want to come through. So this is called Modern Life Oracle. I have the PDF reference up on my phone because it was so cheap and basic. It didn't come with a book. It just said, here, scan this QR code to get the booklet. And I'm like, okay, that works for me. And these are kind of weird. I've never done a reading with them. I did one just playing around, but then I was like, I don't know about these. But I kind of want to use them. So let's see what messages want to come through. Thank you, Spirit. Meal prep mastermind. All right. I don't know what that's all about. And then when I search for that, hold on, please. Meal prep mastermind. Keep going. Okay. So it says, envision this. It's Sunday afternoon, and your kitchen looks like a hybrid between a professional chef's workspace and a plastic container factory. You're wielding knives like a samurai. Your fridge is a Tetris game of perfectly portioned meals, and you've got your week's nutrition plan down to the last carefully measured teaspoon of chia seeds. Your future self, this is if it's in the upright, your future self thanks you for your organizational skills and foresight. When the Meal Prep Mastermind card dices its way into the upright position, you're the Marie Kondo of meal planning. Your lunches are the envy of the office. Your macros are perfectly balanced, and you've somehow managed to make chicken breast exciting for 5 days straight. You're not just eating, you're tactfully fueling your body for world domination. And fits in the reverse, which I still like to read. By the way, I'm finally warm. This is like, gotta go. Whew. Tupperware overwhelm. Sometimes spontaneity in meals can be good too. Oh no, did you just find a container of what used to be lettuce but is now a science experiment? When this card appears reversed, your meal prep ambitions have turned into a plastic wasteland. Your fridge is a graveyard of good intentions. You're sick of eating the same thing every day, and the idea of cooking another batch of anything makes you want to survive on crackers and spite. Reflection. How can you apply your planning skills to other areas of your life? While measuring out your 15th cup of brown rice, take a moment to ponder, is your meal prep mastery balancing your life or just giving you another thing to stress about? How can you apply this level of organization to other areas without sucking all the spontaneity out of life? Remember, even the most regimented meal plan should have room for the occasional surprise taco. Warning label, excessive meal prepping may lead to, Tupperware avalanches, an intimate knowledge of every grocery store sale cycle, the ability to eat the same meal 15 times without blinking, that's me, and friends questioning if you're training for a fitness competition or preparing for the apocalypse. Use with caution. So, we'll see if those energies have anything to do with this reading. Whew. So there's something about like over preparedness or spontaneity. So do you feel like you fluctuate between those extremes? Where are you on that spectrum? And what triggers you to be one way or the other? I'm curious because I feel like I've definitely fluctuated between those extremes. Like I love a meal prep and I love to eat the same thing 15 days in a row. But you know what I love even more? Spontaneity. So let's just do a quick little reading and see. Well, I always say quick. It's never quick, is it? I try. So, Spirit, thank you for these messages, whatever you have for us. We have the moon. This is movie tarot. So it is, oh my God. By the way, I don't know what's going on with this thing today. Like, it's been like that all day. The moon, this is David Bowie. And then we have the Six of Coins, which is the Six of Pentacles. And we have the Three of Wands. Oh, interesting. And then the overall energy, we have the 7 of coins. Interesting. This is this is so interesting. This is like patience, which kind of goes along with one end of the spectrum of the male prep mastermind. It's like you're planting seeds and just trying to have patience for them to grow. So there's something about perseverance here. Just, you got to see things through. And then sometimes the 7 of coins says, it does kind of say like, you might need to have some spontaneity come in, like to shake things up, to make things not seem so dull. Like it's all just a waiting game, this life, you know? So that's interesting. So there's something about the energy of that waiting that seems like, oh God, the drudgery of just the day in, day out. And then like, oh, I could really use some spontaneity. So what are you feeling there? And then we have the moon, 6 of coins, and 3 of wands. And you know what? Sometimes with this one, I want to get a 4th card. And so we have the 6 of swords, which is kind of like this, we're moving on from like choppy waters to calm waters. So this is like there's a healing journey here. And the moon, which is like trying to illuminate the unseen. The 6 of coins has this like, give and take, reciprocity energy. The 3 of wands is like looking out and saying, what do I want to make of this life? So we're all over the map here. This could be read as like a lot of different ways. So let's start to clarify. What we want to do here is, I'm going to use another deck I don't use that often. We're pulling out all the babies today. This is called Mystic Cats Tarot. I think I used it maybe a couple weeks ago. So Spirit, let's clarify the overall energy of like this 7 of coins. Let's just take the 2 that flew out. Maybe we'll take the flyers. So we have the Magician and the Page of Pentacles. Ooh. So the Magician is, it gives me this vibe of spontaneity because it's like when you see a magician on stage, it's all seemingly spontaneous, but it's very well planned out. But to the audience, it looks spontaneous. And the Page of Pentacles has like this youthful, like the pages always make me think of youthful energy, but they also, the Page of Pentacles, it's like this grounded, fresh start towards success. So there's something here like, I wonder if there's something to do with like you're trying to become more spontaneous, and it's, I don't know if that's entirely it, but let's keep going. Let's clarify the moon. We have the Wheel of Fortune and the Hermit. Ooh. There's something like, let's get a third one. And the 3 of Wands again. You know, I love a repeat. There's something calling us out into adventure. The 3 of Wands is definitely that adventure. And there's something like saying, you need to tap into something deep here within yourself to say like, what is this? It feels like hypervigilance to me, especially because we have the 6 of Swords as a healing journey. And when you're hypervigilant, you're kind of less spontaneous because you've got to make sure your surroundings are all safe. Like you are a prepper because you've got to make sure every situation's accounted for. So there's something, because it's healing, we went deep with the moon. The Wheel of Fortune is this like the full, it's kind of like the cycle of change, and it feels like it's calling you out of this hypervigilance where it's, oh man, I'm trying to put a word to this. We might have to come back and clarify that one further. Sorry if you can't see these. But But the Wheel of Fortune's like, you feel like you understand the full cycle of things. Like if you have this hypervigilant prepper mentality or just energy about you because of something in your past where something wasn't safe, and hypervigilance makes you feel like you're safe because you have control. So the Wheel of Fortune says, honey, you don't have control. The wheel goes round and round, and it's going to land where it lands. And sometimes you're on top, sometimes you're on the bottom. Sometimes you're lucky, sometimes you're not. And so you can't control it. So it's saying, like, tap into, why do you feel like you need this control? Where did you feel like you didn't have control and it caused harm? And so there's I think this is way deeper than I thought we were going to go, because this might go back to childhood stuff. So 6 of Coins, let's clarify that. We have, the 3 of Swords. This is definitely some heartache, some pain, definitely pain. And the 5 of Swords, this is definitely pain, angst, regret. Oh, shame, it came to mind. And then we have the 8 of Pentacles, which is interesting coming off the 7 of Pentacles, because the 8 of Pentacles says, like, it says, just keep your head down, do the same thing every day, and it'll amount to something. So there's this, it's definitely got that prepper energy here. Like, just do the work. This is like the opposite of spontaneous. This is like you heads down, do the work, because something is saying that has kept you feeling safe. Like, I'm not going to look at that stuff. All I have to do is keep my head down and just whatever's right in front of me. It's safe that way. Interesting. I'm getting a lot of chills. Could be because I just turned my heater off. Just kidding. They're the good kind of chills. 3 of Wands. Let's clarify that. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Wow, the Page and the Ace remind me, they're kind of similar in a lot of ways to me. And we have that with the 3 of Wands, which is calling us out to be adventurous, spontaneous. Like, it's like we're looking out saying, I want that so bad, but I'm like, something's making me hesitate. And the Ace is saying, do it. You have a chance for a fresh start. Like, it's calling you forth. This disembodied hand is pretty funny. It's my friend Michelle. She designed this deck, and she's got a great sense of humor. I love her art. Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords is like the super fast knight. Oh, with the Ace of Pentacles, it's like the opposite energy. It's like very... It's like both energies of the prepper versus like spontaneous, like act without thinking. We've got, it's like this pause of the 3 of Wands, a pause where you're like, it's like the call to adventure, but the refusal of the call. And then what's this going to tell us? The Ace of Wands. Oh my God. Didn't we just get that? No, it was the 3 of Wands twice. Maybe I'm thinking of another. Yeah, I'm thinking of a different reading. But the Ace of Wands, again, this whole like, it's a call, another call, because it's the divine hand saying, here, this is for you. And in this case, it's like inspiration, passion, that it's like calling you out to like my glasses. And I think all of this is calling you out of the pause. So something is calling you into this healing. That's where we're going next. So it's like, I don't think we've started the healing yet, because this is telling us, this is like, you're in your safe zone, calling you into like looking at past wounds. And the reason for those, like the reason you're not looking at those yet is like, it's not, maybe a little bit not ready, but it's saying now's the time. Like, we've got this divine timing twice. And saying like, it's just calling you to try spontaneity on for size. It might lead to some healing. So let's clarify the 6 of Swords. And we have the Queen of Wands. Ooh, yeah, she is like the magician again, basically. But this time she's so intuitive. She's she can make anything happen. And so I wonder if it's, let's see, the Eight of Swords. Ooh, this is like that feeling trapped. I wonder what we're going to get now. And the Knight of Cups. God, we've got knights and pages and aces. Those are all like a call to action kind of, or gifts of like divine gifts of a freshness, like newness. And then the Knight is like action. So this is definitely calling us to heal the wounds, because there's going to be an emotional healing that will happen when you look at why you're keeping yourself trapped. Like, why are you holding yourself back? Because the Queen of Wands is here to say, like, there's no reason for this. You have so much in you that's just wanting to burst forth in like magical ways. I don't know how else to put that. Ooh, that's interesting. Because I didn't already, let's get one more for the Magician and the Page of Pentacles for the overall reading. And we have the Fool. Yep. This is the leap first, ask questions later. It's like the similar energy of this Knight of Swords. It's like act without thinking. But the Fool knows they'll be safe. So this is saying, like, you're going to be fine. Just go for it. And I feel like, wow. So for those of you who have trouble being spontaneous, do you feel that? Do you feel that hypervigilance acting in your life? Like that, hypervigilance means like, let's say you enter a room and you're like, okay, I got to know where all the exits are. This might be the extreme. I got to know who's going to be here, what's everyone's role, who's doing what. You might just think you're like a party planner, an organizer, whatever, but it's like literally plays out in every area of your life, because you've got to make sure things are going to be safe. I know what's going to happen. There's no second guess, like there's no guessing what's going to happen. I just know. So it's like your way to like, it's not for real. It's just your perception of having planned everything to a T so that you can understand every potential eventuality of what could happen or go wrong, so that you're prepared to address it. And you might just think, oh, I'm a good problem solver, or like I'm prepared for any outcome. Like I was a Girl Scout, I was a Boy Scout, that sort of thing. It's like, well, do you need to be? How much mental and emotional and physical exertion is happening just in the prepping, when it's like you can't ever let your guard down? So what kind of physical exhaustion, what kind of toll does it take in your life when you feel like, I've just got to be prepared for everything? But deep down it says you want to be the Fool. You want to be spontaneous. You just want to like make stuff happen without, like, from right now, not like pre-planning it, because it kind of takes the joy out of things sometimes, doesn't it? When you plan everything to a T without leaving room for spontaneity. I was just talking with somebody about this yesterday. Like, they were planning a trip, and I think they were saying like they planned like so much, and then they're like, and then we're leaving the rest open for spontaneity. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of nice. You plan a little bit just so you have like markers, or like, in your week, and then we can be spontaneous and with these days, so we would pop in and see this music or go on this tour or whatever it is. And so it's like, that's kind of nice, because you want to try to make the most of a trip when you have a very limited time someplace. Because sometimes if you have no plans, then it's all spontaneity, then by the end of it, you might feel like, oh man, I could have made better use of this trip, especially if you're going out of country. Like, if I would have planned just a little bit, I could have seen like the most amazing things. But then I didn't think about it till it was too late, because I was off just eating tapas and I don't know. So just think about where it's showing up in your life and what you're being called to do about it. So what I'd like to do is grab an oracle card, something I feel like I don't want to get too deep because I thought we wouldn't clarify this one with an extended reading, but I would like to get maybe the, whoops, is this the one I want? I think I want Guides of the Hidden Realms. Why not? So let's have an oracle message to wrap this up. And we have full moon eclipse, removing internal obstacles, confronting self-identity, intensity. It's funny that we have full moon eclipse. By the way, this artwork is interesting. Kind of trippy. Makes me want to have some really trippy dreams. So, full moon eclipse, number 15. Just from reading it, I mean, it's like these are internal obstacles you're dealing with to get over that. But it's also confronting self-identity. And there's some intensity with like the prepper mindset. Like there's intensity behind that. Intensity, removing internal obstacles, confronting self-identity. The intense period of utter darkness during a full moon eclipse is a sign for you to release all that is no longer serving you, which is funny because we just had a full moon eclipse like a week ago. Your repressed wounds can sabotage you, eclipsing all the good you've worked for. Now is the time to face the darker side of things. Where are you leaking your power by giving it away to other people and their drama? Could you have been engaging in blame, shame that showed up, or judgment of others or yourself? Emotions can get riled up at this time, but remember that an eclipse doesn't last. What obstacles do you perceive in your life right now? Let go of your attachments to a specific form of success. Prepping is all about attachment, isn't it? Like, it's got to be successful. It's got to look this way. The universe has a much better plan. If your gaze is focused on the outer world, adjust your perception because everything is a reflection of your inner world. Trust that you are here in this intense moment only temporarily. Make good use of it, then let go. You will be so glad you did. If it's in the reversed, which we'll read it anyway, the full moon in eclipse reminds you it's time to fully and absolutely let go of what was to make room for something new. Consider whether the path you're on is really in alignment with your truth. Look at your life with detachment, observing how you identify with what you think you desire. Do you want a certain experience to redeem you, make you more worthy, or show the world how great you are? That's another hypervigilance trait, isn't it? Like, look at me, I've got it all together. I've got everything planned and nothing's going to go wrong and la la la. Have you had the same dream for so long you haven't considered another? Reflect on your direction and the identity you've constructed around your small self. When you take a detour on the path to something you thought you wanted, could you see this as a gift? What else is possible rising up from the void? Who are you really? You are not what you want or what you have. You are so much more. Stop and assess and be willing to walk away from what no longer serves you. Then you can choose to continue or change direction with a clear mind. No matter what you discover, it's all perfect. And that's just it with spontaneity. It's like no matter what happens, it's all good. Because when something goes wrong, we can adapt from the present moment. We're releasing attachment to what the outcome should look like or how we're going to get there. And we're just saying, like, whatever happens, happens, and we'll adapt. It'll be good. So I love that message. Remove those internal obstacles and just say, like, what if I leapt and nothing was there to catch me? So what? I'll get back up. Like, what's the worst that could happen? Sometimes I like to play that as a recovering hypervigilant person. What's the worst that could happen? Literally, I still have to work through this like all the time. And, like, when I pack for a trip, for example, I'm like, do I really need to take all this? Probably not. And sometimes I can just leave. Well, I've done this in my life. I left the country for a year with just a backpack and barely anything in it. I had a couple like poetry books, the important things. But see, so there's like these two extremes, and where do you fall within? And when do you feel more like yourself? When do you feel like you have internal obstacles to your true self? it's like this confronting the self-identity. Where do you feel attached, to the prepper or to the spontaneous person? This feels like you're more on the prepper side. And where does that feel like your identity is wrapped up in it? And what would be so wrong with like releasing that identity if it no longer serves you? It doesn't have to be like totally full, but where do you think you could move an inch a little more on that spectrum toward the spontaneous and be like, okay, let's start here. I think it'll be okay. Like baby steps, you know? So hope this resonated. Take what did and just put a pin in the rest and see if it comes back around. And yeah, let me know what you think, or reach out for a personal reading and we can go deeper. Okay, thank you. Bye. I was kind of whispering. I was doing my little inside voice because my husband's sleeping. So if I sound weird, that's why.